Hey everyone, this is the Dragon Age vlogs for session 9, where we go back to the White Spire and then into Tevinter. Brought to you by Payne's Practical Products.
For her.
For her.
Travel size.
Insert super cheesy 80s or 90s dance clip now.
Bless my soul, pain is on the road.
Exactly.
I feel like this was a big session for Andrea, so do you want to take it away, Kimberly?
Yeah.
It was a huge session. I don't know. I mean, I've been dreading / being excited for the session for a while because going to Devinter meant telling everybody everything, and she's been holding that back because she hasn't really trusted you guys yet, and she finally told it all, and it was very stressful to do. So that's always that. It's done now, which I was really excited about. It was interesting to see the responses to it from the characters, especially the NPCs.
Yeah.
Um,
Poor Connor.
Poor Connor.
Yeah,
I felt so
Connor is
bad.
just-
Yeah, Connor
He's
didn't have
like,
the brain.
I trusted you
I know. I feel so bad.
this whole time.
When he said this whole time, I was just like, yeah.
I think it came out at the right time, though, because I think any earlier and your reception might not have been as great. I think it really shows how the group is starting to gel that you didn't get a larger reaction to that.
Yep.
I think there was more trust there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cedric's kept quiet that whole time
Yeah.
too. He kept quiet, so
Cedric trusts Andrea. Maybe not like number one, but she's like way up there. So the fact that he knew that there was something that she wasn't telling him. So when it finally came out, he was a little unnerved by it, but in reality, he was like, I don't think there's any way she would have succeeded.
That was pretty much Theo's response as well. Like, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Pretty much.
Have a nice death.
Pretty much.
Oh man, guys, no confidence.
It's not no confidence, it's the people you've decided to go up against.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, yeah, I feel like just because of that trust that had been building up so far, like, that he kind of suspected that she won't do it now, and she's not trying to play us.
Oh man. Everyone wanted to talk to me this session. I felt like Miss Popularity today. I think I talked to all of you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Kenna gave me the necklace. That was so cute.
Oh, that's so cute.
And that was an amazing story.
Yeah, the story was really cool. Did you like come up with that, or was
No,
that?
that's in the lore.
Okay.
That's so
really
cool.
Yeah, I didn't know
love
that.
that.
It was when I was going through my stuff and I was reading, I was like, this would be helpful to Andrea.
Where did you find that in the lore?
It's in the Avar wiki page.
Oh
The-
wow,
the
that's
Dragon
cool. I
Age
love
wiki,
that.
yeah.
See, I'm glad because we're now bringing to light a lot of things that us veteran Dragon Age, players don't normally get to see. So it's so cool that we're learning more of this Avar, juicy Avar culture.
Totally.
Glad you guys liked it.
You.
Yes.
So cute.
That was really good.
Kenna kicked Cedric's ass.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
That was a good start.
That was so
Yeah.
cool.
Something
I definitely
that
didn't think I was
not
gonna
take
win.
personally whatsoever. He's like, hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. This was a great experience for battle. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you don't die, you always take something away that you learn.
Right.
I thought Connor might win.
Too late, Cedric. Too late. Or too soon. Too soon, Cedric, for that.
Well, I'm just saying, when the battle royale comes around.
No, this was the indicator right there. No.
We weren't rolling damage. As soon as we start rolling damage, you're screwed.
If you can hit me, my defense is so high, you wouldn't even be able to touch.
I need to hit you once, and then you'll be on the
It is on.
Cut off all your clothes. You have so much skin exposed. Half. Like, goodbye. Like, there's no armor. You might have high defense, but there's no armor.
I've got like an armor of 3.
On the head, like.
We'll see.
Oh yes, we will see.
Battle Royale. Kenna will be victorious.
I liked speaking of Kenna, I really liked the scene between her and Violetta. I thought that was really good.
I did too. I shipped them so hard.
I did.
Oh. There's so much shipping.
Yeah.
I loved the talk that Theo had with Connor.
Oh
Yes.
God.
It was so awkward and so beautiful.
It seemed approved.
Kenna, so just stringing him.
I'm not trying to.
I know you're not trying to. The poor guy. Oh, it's just gonna make it worse and worse and worse when he
But
finally.
you know, come on, Kenna. He knows what he's doing now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, cringy.
Oh.
Yeah. Although these guys knew that conversation was coming anyway. It actually, the conversation came out from before we'd even started the campaign. We were like trying to get into characters, so we were doing like non-canon sessions, and that was a conversation that Theoben actually had with Cedric way back when.
Oh yeah.
I thought I have to make that canon.
Why Cedric, I guess, is my question. You mean talking to Cedric about the birds and the bees?
Yeah.
Isn't he like 20-something?
I think
22? 22?
Yeah, I think because they were just like small sessions that we kind of already had, like, we imagined our characters had already had a pre-established comfortable relationship with each other, so they were able to have conversations that they probably wouldn't have had early in the campaign.
Right.
And
Gotcha.
it destroyed my shirt, if I remember correctly.
What?
Oh, also,
Destroyed?
Theo accidentally poisoned Kenna twice during those sessions.
Anyway.
But yeah, but that was something that I thought is still true to Theo's character in campaign. So, and when Connor was showing signs of being flustered and not really showing that he knew what he was doing, it seemed like a good opportunity for Theoben to step in.
It was so funny. Well done. Both of you. Well done. Mark was just awkward and uncomfortable enough to be that poor kid.
You see, if Hark had have known it was coming, I don't think I'd have got quite as good a reaction as I did. I think the fact that you pulled Hugh in to make diagrams was hilarious.
That was so funny. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I would have loved to see what that looked like, Hugh doing illustrations.
Yeah. I wrote down that I'm supposed to ask what Andrea's perception check was for.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's too late now, unfortunately. But had you gotten a higher perception roll, then you would have noticed within the letter, it's fallen out now, is a tiny strand of hair. The letter from Cain was a tiny strand of hair.
So I could have snatched it up and gave it to Violetta.
You could have been in possession of Cain's hair.
Oh
wow.
but it would have like blown away or fallen into the ground somewhere.
I'm sure it's
and
still
not
there.
that you would have
I'm
known.
sure it's
Yeah, but you wouldn't have known about it.
No.
That would have been totem metagaming.
You just see like
I
everyone
feel
goes
like
back.
I need to check this floor for something. I don't know what I'm looking for on this floor, but something on this floor. Yes.
I found like 8 pieces of hair. Does this help?
I think
But I
that
thought-
would be the bet.
Yeah. It wasn't something that you needed to do, but I figured if you did have a high enough one, I'm like, this would be a really fun thing for them to have, just to see what they would do with it. But yeah, it wasn't a high enough roll.
It would have been.
But it would have been it would have been really entertaining or cool
Yeah.
to find out what you did with that. So
Yeah, well, Theo still has the roofie drinks if we need them. Just saying.
that's true. You can still get his hair some other way.
Indeed.
If you want. There's still ways.
I'm actually glad Cedric rolled poorly on his perception roll that he was supposed to do when they mentioned like the brandy thing. 'Cause
Oh,
Cedric
what do you think he would have
reacted
done?
very poorly to that.
What do you think he would have done?
He would have confronted them, and maybe he wouldn't have gotten violent because like they're initiates and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he would have gotten very, very angry at them and told them off in more ways than he should have.
Even though Hugh would not have cared.
Yeah, it's more of a rapport for him because he doesn't like tranquility, and even though he did it, and it's just like the whole perception of it, and Hugh, he still holds on to the fact that Hugh did save his life, and so he holds Hugh still within a very high regard, even though he knows what he really is.
Right.
So
these random people who doesn't know him and doesn't know
Yeah.
what he does or what he's done are just randomly labeling him as something and
Exactly.
not even thinking about it. And it's kind of sad that things haven't changed
Yeah.
after so long. It's been many years and that hasn't changed around these parts. So, well, maybe you should have. Then maybe you should have, so you could start getting people to
Yeah,
question
set them
that
straight.
stuff. Set them straight, but. Well, maybe you'll be back. Maybe you'll be back in Navarra, and you might hear something like that again, and we might see.
And with his mindset, like since he was very confused, he might have been a lot angrier than he normally would have been as well because of everything that's going on. So he might have like snapped.
Is that the reason why Andrea didn't tell Cedric anything about that when she heard it? Is that the reason why?
It also didn't I mean, it was maddening to her. Like it made her really angry to hear it, but she knows Cedric, and she I would say it didn't seem to matter in that moment. Like in that moment, there was more important things going on in Cedric's head, so he didn't need to worry about that.
Okay, got it.
Oh man, Kevin, the mausoleum scene was so good.
Yes,
Very good.
Kevin.
So good.
Oh my gosh, that was heartbreaking. I don't even know if I even need to put music behind that. Because I was starting to cry. I don't know if I need music behind that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And right after that, trying to RP, I was like, I can't be happy right now. Like that was way too much.
Exactly. Oh.
It was really hard for me. Like, you like picked like something that like has like a personal connection with me because I'm adopted. So
Okay.
like
Okay.
I have that like huge thing where it's like, yeah, I have birth parents, but my adopted parents are my real parents. And so like Cedric, like his memories of his like real parents, like are the people who raised him. Like those are his real parents. So like that like struck a chord with me, and I was like trying to like choke out what like Cedric would say, and oh man, it was just hard. It was
So good.
I have a question to ask you that's sort of related to that, Kevin, because when I decided to do what I ended up doing with Cedric's character, I was a little worried about that decision. And I talked about this with Super Spells, actually. Spells actually knows about this thing with Cedric, because I bounced off the idea with him when we got together. If you remember, I got together with him and E. So I told him about your situation, and Spells is immediate concern was how you as a player would feel about that in terms of me completely. You made Cedric. You created Cedric. You gave him your understanding of who he is, what his background is, where he came from. And I, as the DM, just came over and just turned it completely upside down, saying, you're not actually Cedric Ashwood. You're actually this person instead, who not only is this person, but you're an established character from another season. Certain players might be a little bit peeved at that, or that might be a little sour for them. So I'm just curious, honestly, how you feel about that, because it was a bit of a risk for me to just go in and do that, because it kind of does turn your character upside down.
Yeah.
And forces something that maybe you did not necessarily see being forced into. Square hole in a round peg, or round hole in a square peg.
You know, I never, like, honestly, I was never really bothered by it.
Okay.
I always figured, like, I kind of have the same ideas that Cedric has. It's like, yeah, it wasn't technically him in those memories or whatever, or like his body isn't like, you know, like it's like all one big mess. But the memories that he had are something that defined who he was,
right,
or who he is right now. So,
okay.
Like, while it wasn't technically him, I still feel like those experiences that he witnessed in his memories affected him and determined who he is now. So
yeah,
it doesn't bother me at all.
That's good.
Yeah,
because I thought that it was a great opportunity to flesh out parts of Liam's character, because we don't know much about his background. We don't know much because a lot of it's because of his personality. Because of his personality, he's not very talkative. It's hard for him to open up. The person that he opened up, the person that he really opened up to was Lealden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about what's going to happen when you run into Lealden.
Oh,
is something I'm really curious about. What will happen? So yeah, Lealden was the one that he connected to in that group, and even then, his background was vague, and a lot of it again was because, as I said, I wasn't originally going to make him an NPC. I didn't know he was going to have this type of response, and so I wanted to give his character a chance to be more defined, and that is what you're doing, Kevin. You're defining more of who he is, even though you can consider yourself a completely different person. You're still Cedric Ashwood. But at the same time, you also get to teach us more about Liam, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it's genius. I think it's great. And I think when you look at Cedric and Liam, it works. There's
they're
certain
similar
situations that would not have worked. But if you rewatch season 1, there are a lot of similarities between the two characters, and it's really cool that you played off that.
Liam, just to give you an explanation, Cedric represents who Liam could have become if he did certain things differently. I didn't get a chance to explain this in the previous session because you guys just didn't do certain things that would have allowed you to have understood this, so I'll explain this now, because I don't know if it's going to be brought up later. But the reason why Liam transferred twice. So he transferred from Navarra to Kirkwall, and then he transferred from Kirkwall to Ferelden. I'm not going to explain the first transfer because that might come up later. That might be explained later. But if you remember, Liam's biggest regret in his life was killing Delwyn's dad. I don't know if that was made apparent, but that was his deepest regret, and that is what he's always tried to ask for forgiveness for. Every single time he told Lealden that, don't paint me as a hero, it's because he keeps remembering that really bad call in his mind of killing Delwyn's dad, and he's always regretted it up to that point. And it was because of his decision to do that he requested to be transferred from Kirkwall. he asked to be transferred from Kirkwall and go to Ferelden instead because he wanted to leave that behind. And I think he wanted to try to be a better Templar, a better person from that day forward. And so what the Liam that you meet in session 1 is sort of like that bitterness and guilt, turning him into super broody. As Cedric is, Liam is super broody. Cedric Ashwood gives Liam sort of a second chance because Cedric Ashwood doesn't fully have all of older Liam's memories. He has initiate Liam's memories. Like back when Liam had the potential, because back in the day he wanted to do good. He wanted to be a good Templar. He had a lot of these ideals. It's just one big bad decision kind of spiraled him downwards. So that was the reason why I went with that, because you and Liam have the same origins. It's just he went this way. Now Cedric can be his own person and he can take this potential and have a second chance. That's the premise of that.
I find that really interesting.
Yeah.
I remember I rewatched session 1. I think it was like part 11 or something like that. Right after like
season 1 session 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what parts were you watching?
It was like right after they saved Connor, and like everyone was like, it was like pretty much like a Mexican standoff. Like Connor had his sword to someone's throat, like Max had his sword to Leodlin's back. Leodlin was like, everything. It was like a huge Mexican standoff. And then after that resolved, Liam was like, I need to go pray. And I was like, oh man. Like, come on. Like, I was like, that's like way too much. Like that.
Leading up to that reveal, Kevin, you have to imagine as a GM, I'm just sitting back there watching you be Cedric, watching you make all of these decisions, and I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like, this is so perfect. I'm telling the people watching, like, I swear to you, Kevin and I, we did not plan this. I did not talk to him about this. I just saw Kevin's character. I thought I understood Cedric enough that I knew how he was going to play his character, and it was just beautiful the way it worked out. And then so when the reveal happened, I'm like, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So it's eerie how it worked out, but it did, because there was a lot of risk involved. Like maybe you would have role played Cedric in such a way where it didn't make as much sense, but it all just lined up so well. I had to rewatch a whole bunch of season 1 to prepare writing your story, just to make sure I kept a lot of things consistent. So
yeah, I was also really excited to meet the rest of the heroes, just to see if like anything pops out, because like you said,
I just really want to shake your hand for some reason.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I'm also a little worried about like Delwyn. Like it's like, oh well, like what if I shake his hand and like the memories come back from that session, and I was like, oh, you're a blood mage. Like, I was like, oh no, but
that's been something Kevin's been worried about out of character like this whole time. He's like, I don't ever want to know that Delwyn is a blood mage, because I'll kill him. I will kill him.
Even if he's given it up, I don't think Cedric would care.
I don't do it anymore.
Would you want a cookie? Like...
Oh goodness. I liked being able to talk to Hugh about what we thought Cedric was too. That was cool.
Yeah.
I was still so down from Cedric's scene though. So I was like.
What were your thoughts of Hugh painting Razakael's portrait?
The second that Hugh explained his backstory, that was in my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That really worried me.
I didn't think too much about it until he revealed it, in session today, and I was like, that's cold. That's really cold.
He's crafty. He's very observant, and I think he needed a contingency plan just in case. Not that he believed. I mean, he's still tranquil, so not that he believed he could if he needed to, but it was just one of those like things that he just didn't feel that he needed to stop himself from doing, because Razakale really wanted her portrait painted, and he's like, well, sure, why not?
Yeah,
I'll paint
like,
your portrait. So there's a lot going on in that boy's head.
Yeah.
So.
Scene with Theoben and Razakale was really stressful because whilst Theoben is warming slightly, maybe he wouldn't admit it, to Razakale, he still knows his people. And now he's very, very torn because he totally gets what Razakale is saying.
Yeah.
But he can't just kind of walk up to the dwarves or Kingkine or whatever and say, hey, give these Darkspawn, that Tig. You know how we've been fighting for like hundreds of years to take these Tigs back from them? Let's just let them have it. It just doesn't work.
Like, really need it?
My
Deep Roads is huge. The Deep Roads is very big.
Yeah.
I mean,
my thing with that was, I was like, yeah, I totally can't see the dwarves ever doing it, but at the same time, they don't have it now. So it's like,
Yeah.
I was like,
That doesn't mean they're likely to let them keep it, though. That's the thing. Dwarves aren't going to make the distinction between this is a talking nice Darkspawn, and here's the evil ones that want to kill it.
Oh, man. Rough.
So that was stressful.
All Razakale's people want is to be heard.
Yeah.
yes.
Very, very good writing, Hark, there.
That I pulled that out of my butt. I just pulled it completely out of my butt.
And very good improvisation.
Thank you. Darkspawn lives matter.
Yeah, that's not something I could have envisioned Theo actually thinking when we started this campaign.
It gives Razakale definitely gives. I mean, that's the reason why the games, the Dragon Age games, give you the NPCs that they give you, is because they want to give you perspectives of things. You know, with Vivienne you get the circle perspective. With Fenris you get the Tevinter slave perspective. So Razakale was purposely put into this storyline because you're going to deal with this perspective of Darkspawn and dwarves, and is it possible to have some sort of peace between the two? Because if you can succeed in that, that's going to totally change the face of Thedas going forward. That hey, dwarves, and because
it's crazy.
Think about it. Like if an agreement can be made, in theory, if an agreement can be made between this sect of Darkspawn and the dwarves might have an opportunity to actually rebuild in the Deep Roads again. Like the Deep Roads would not they wouldn't have to fight Darkspawn anymore and actually expand their empire. But that's the problem with that, is that's very big picture.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you have to get past the short-sightedness that many dwarves have.
The dwarves aren't very good at that.
The dwarves aren't very good at that. So it's the potential of their empire is great, but
and Theo is still in this very lower caste mindset of, well, what can I do? I'm not in a position of power. I'm not authority. He's been beaten down so many times with not being worth more than lower caste to Orzammar that he struggles to see himself as someone that can bring about change.
Does everybody understand in the game lore the relationship between Orzammar and Kal-Sharok? Do everyone understand, or do you not quite fully understand?
It's another dwarven city, right? That not necessarily completely connected to.
Yeah, they're very different actually, in the sense that they don't really respect each other. They don't respect each other's monarchy or the way that they do things. Their paragons have no weight in the opposite empire. They're actually very divided.
Is it very much like Tevinter versus Orlais?
In what way?
In the way that they are similar but very, very different, and they don't respect each other's religion or their ways.
Kind of.
Yeah.
The main thing you need to know is that they when the deep roads were being overridden with Darkspawn, Orzammar thought that Kal-Sharok was a lost cause. They thought that there's so many Darkspawn here, there's no way that Kal-Sharok can survive. Let's shut our gates, let's shut the deep road gates and just bunker down here in Orzammar, because Kal-Sharok is a lost cause. Unbeknownst to them, Kal-Sharok did survive, and they felt abandoned by their Orzammar brothers.
With the help of the casteless, I might add as well. Kal-Sharok actually started embracing all dwarves, regardless of caste, and that's how they managed to survive.
Exactly. So years, many years later, they discover, hey, these dwarves, Kal-Sharok, actually they're still alive, are bad, and things between them have just been very strained ever since. So when you find out that King Kain himself is traveling to Kal-Sharok, Theoben believes it's because he's trying to reestablish relations with them. Hey, that whole thing about casteless being okay, we're trying to move towards that. Because he thinks that him as king, if anyone's going to be able to... I mean, honestly, if anyone's going to convince Kal-Sharok, hey, maybe we can find some common ground, it's probably going to be King Kain if he survives. So I just want to make sure you understand that's going in. Even though your characters might not understand that, I think it's good for the players to understand that lore, so you know what you're getting into when you start talking with the people in Kal-Sharok, if you do end up interacting with the people in Kal-Sharok.
Theo would be more than happy to fill the guys in if they asked anyway. So.
Yeah.
I'm really excited now that Cedric knows the Bolt of Judgment thing. I really want to incorporate that. Oh no, we're getting overrun. Andrea, Bolt of Judgment.
Well, he saw it when we were fighting in fighting the lizards in the woods. That's what she did. That's how she attacked the thing in the forest. But
I saw him. I didn't think he knew what it was called.
He didn't know what it was.
I put that in. I really want to do that.
That'd be so good.
So if Andrea would be the Bolt of Judgment, would Cedric, because he's got his bracer, be the Bolt of Justice? Bolt of Judge.
Just player to player, I have to ask Kevin, how is Cedric okay with Andrea being in a proving and killing people with magic, and how is that all okay with him?
Well, he figured that she's a slave and she didn't have a choice, and he respects that. She had the fortitude to survive and not succumb to blood magic or become an abomination. The killing thing was kind of at first he was kind of ugh. But it was the whole she's a slave and she in his mind she was forced to do it.
Fair enough.
Has Theo ever killed anybody before?
Yeah, I'm sure he has. I just don't think he's aware of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious. I feel like we're coming towards some combat possibly soon, and I mean, some of us are more used to combat than others, so I would like to see how that affects people mentally and emotionally. I thought it was cool that Cedric asked about it today, because...
Yeah, that is very cool. I like that.
We'll see soon.
I have this fear that that Theo's supplied stuff to the Carter might come up. That they might use something that he supplied them. It's just my worry. Because that would be...
in Kal-Sharok too? Are the Carter in Kal-Sharok?
That's where Zelinda's husband is.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Cogs' dad.
Cogs' dad.
I wonder if he's anything like Cogs.
No.
I don't think he's
I don't know about that.
I feel like he's gonna be evil, but I'm like praying he's like Cogs.
He's gonna have the same voice, but super evil.
And then in the picture is gonna be Cogs, but with like an evil mustache.
Yes. Well, the problem is he is a full dwarf.
Oh,
Or full.
Fine.
Well, he's half dwarf. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Wait, is he the dwarf? Yeah, I think he's the dwarf. So he's
Well, if
a
you
full
don't know.
dwarf. He's a full dwarf. Yes.
And his mom.
Well, I was just
his
getting
mom's an
confused.
elf, right?
His mom's an elf. His mom's an elf.
But like as I said at the very beginning of the session, I'm very intrigued to find the moment where like it actually hits Theo square in the face. I've actually created something that's dangerous and can kill people.
Yes.
I think he had a little bit of that moment when Andrea's like, "Hey, by the way, I have this poison." He's like,
Yeah, and she hasn't used it yet. That's the thing. So she
No,
hasn't
she hasn't.
technically hurt anybody with it. So
Yes,
she's
yet.
still in that phase of it's just a
Yes.
bubble that I've made and somebody has it.
Right.
So that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
See, I feel guilty because I just like Bostwick, and I find him very likable. So.
Bostwick, I've been trying to make him likable,
Yep.
and I've been trying to make Bostwick reasonable. So he's different from, say, Kane and Sevian. I think that at least the way I've been trying to portray him, he's more genuine when he talks. I feel like, yeah, he has this air about him sometimes where, he's giving you the spiel, but I think that also at the same time he can talk very seriously with Andre, and I think he has spoken with her seriously. When like him talking to her about Trina in session 1, that was meant to be genuine.
Yeah.
I was trying to make it seem like he genuinely is trying to help. He doesn't want to kill Trina. He genuinely wants to save her. And this was like, he felt like his hands were tied and he had to talk to Andrea about it. So if that wasn't like obvious, that's how I was trying to portray him. So.
Yeah, so I really like him. So you're doing a good job making him likable.
Thank you.
It makes me feel like torn with the group though, because like I know we need certain things from him and gotta get out from under him, but at the same time it's like I don't really want to be a total jerk to Bostwick because I like him.
my intention with Bostwick is I was trying to portray a character who owns slaves, but he's not like slimy.
Yeah.
Because he's very much like the way that I think Liliana was talking about elven slaves in Dragon Age Origins, talking about how that they're called slaves, but they live very good lives, and the people, some people who own slaves do kind of treat them like family.
Yep.
They treat them like the help, but they treat them like family, like the help. You know what I'm saying? And that was sort of how I was.
Maybe they treat them a little bit better than Gwyniel's father treated his own elven servants sometimes.
But with Bostwick, again, people are saying, well, he puts his slaves through the arena but that's. I don't want to get into it because you're gonna have to find that out in game.
Well, I feel like it was almost acceptable to an extent for Andrea because it's very cultural. So it's just part of the culture there, and like I said, I mean, servants in other parts of the world may be treated worse than she ever was as a slave. Like she wasn't treated poorly, so.
No, you were never treated poorly.
So.
But then again, you could also argue Bostwick could be playing favorites. So.
Yeah,
who knows?
I don't know why.
Who knows?
I still don't know why Trina tried to run away. Like, I still don't know.
Yeah, according to her, she says her life was miserable, and so who knows? Maybe he treats some of his other slaves differently, and he just plays favorites. I mean, who knows? You don't know.
don't know.
You're just gonna have to find that out in game.
Probably are making him a lot of money, so.
I am.
You are.
I think we're also making Payne a lot of money at this rate of advertising as well.
Oh, that was fun.
Yes.
That was fun.
I enjoyed that conversation between Theoben and Malcolm about the child. I found out I have a child.
Oh, that was so
He's like,
funny.
who is it? Kenna? Andrea?
Cedric at one point. I was like, oh
He
my
did.
goodness.
He's like, it can't be Cedric. You can't, like, that would be weird.
And he's like, is it Hallister? No, how'd you get
It
her?
can't be Hallie either, but he doesn't know that yet. Yeah, that was brilliant. I'm quite surprised actually by how recurring this character is. Was that intended?
No, it wasn't. It's just I knew I wanted Malcolm to have a role in the story, but I figured, he said he was going to Navarra, and you guys ended up going to Navarra, so he was there, and now he's saying he's going to New Denerim, but he might make a stop at Kirkwall, so who knows? You might see him again. We'll see.
I hope so. I love Malcolm.
I really like this. It's Sam's character. She's the one who made him. So
Yeah. The more we see him, the more fun it is when we see him.
Yeah.
Again.
I feel like Theo's made a bestie there.
Oh yes, Malcolm. He's a good guy. He's sort of like the group dad.
Yeah.
I see him as the party's dad. So yeah, that's how I envision Malcolm. I like him.
I
He's a good
love
character.
Malcolm. Kenna loves him so much.
I know that Hannah mentioned this, but in general, I liked a lot of the Rozakale stuff that happened this session too. I thought that was really cool, which is good because of what you're about to do in the Deep Roads. So
I love how she can speak a lot better now too.
That was so cool.
yeah,
What a surprise.
Hannah took the.
Yeah, when Rozakale was speaking better, I was like, damn it!
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's
I mean, you were gone for a while because you had to go all the way to Navarra and then really come back to Vontar. A lot of time had passed, and I think Princess Violetta figured, okay, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna teach you some things. And so, yeah, I think she took it upon herself to teach Rozakale, and she picked it up. So
Yeah. Well, it made sense for Theo anyway because
Yeah.
He is very smart. He does have a high cunning, so I thought he'd pick that up quite easily. And it's in his nature to get to know the NPCs more, or it has been these past few sessions.
that's a huge. That says a lot if one of the main reasons why he did that was to communicate with Rozakale. That shows a lot.
I mean, he's very prideful, so he wouldn't have shown it much. But I was hoping that it was coming across how he was warming up to her somewhat reluctantly, but he was still warming up to her. Like he identifies that she is no longer a threat to him.
Yeah.
And it helped that he heard Andrea call her Rosie.
I love her so much.
Yeah, I love what Rozakale has been allowed to become, and I say allowed because you could have just killed her. You could have just killed her.
Yeah.
That would have been an option.
That would have been such a shame, but yeah, we definitely could have. Like I think it's passed through all of our heads that first session. Like we should kill this.
Theo very strongly, like in that session, no, why are we letting the Darkspawn travel with us? So I think it was great progression. The scene.
We all know David would have killed her.
Yeah.
We all know Maximilian.
Yeah.
Maximilian would kill everybody.
Yeah.
David scares me. He's scary. He's like, kill them, kill
David,
them.
Yes. Yeah, David went through all of the NPCs. It's like, I'll kill this NPC because of this, that NPC because of that NPC.
I think the only person that survived was the bear.
Yeah, the bear was the only one.
Yeah, he likes the bear. And what he was scared of the tree. Connor, he's like, I would have killed him long ago.
I would have killed Connor. He He wanted to kill Hugh too because he was apparently an anime character.
Right, anime Pokemon
or a Pokemon.
character.
Or a Pokemon. Hugh's a Pokemon character. I don't know if I see that, but
I keep meaning to ask him, like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? My Pokemon character.
That's so funny.
I think I know what he means. I think it's like, because it's so out there, the concept. It's so bright and shiny and colourful and huge, and it's like a big, very high fantasy concept.
Yes, it's huge. Yes.
Ah!
Sorry.
Well done.
Couldn't resist. No, not well done.
Okay.
That's
He
bad,
wants to
very
be
bad.
shamed for that.
Okay, fine. For shame, Hawk.